So now I'm over 30. That means, dun dun dun, I'm expired. I don't want kids because honestly, it looks too freaking hard. Men don't like women who, shh, we don't care what you like. Do any other child-free by choice women want to travel together? And women really want males to be able to give them a...
Men want feminine, submissive women, not aggressive, manly women.
Actual... So they wouldn't have to use their electronic devices so much. As a child-free woman, has anyone else noticed the huge difference in which we get treated compared to child-free men? If men had had their rights taken away from them for decades and then they had gotten them rights back, they would be obsessed with their freedom, their independence, their goals, their aspirations. They'd want to live alone. They wouldn't want to get married straight away. They wouldn't want to have kids straight away. I have my own house. I'm independently financed by myself. I have my own business. I've been traveling the world for like 8 years by myself.
So modest, so modest.
Do my own thing, having as much experience as possible. I'm 33, so I'm just wondering when the invisibility to men starts. Does that mean then soon I'll be able to walk down the street and not get catcalled? Does that mean that men will stop sexualizing me?
No, ma'am. Men will always want to sleep with you, always, no matter your age. But that's not what hitting the wall means. Hitting the wall means that at a certain age, you can't find the man that you want for a relationship, for marriage, not for sex.
Soon? Does any other woman just find it such a relief when incel men say that women over 30 are expired? I literally am like, thank God, because all that means is men like that are gonna stay far away from me. Males are women's biggest haters, and you can't convince me otherwise. They will always find an opportunity, males like this, they will always try to find an opportunity to bring self-assured, confident, independent women down.
You forgot modest. And by the way, ma'am, there will always be men and women that will leave you hateful comments. Why do you care? You have a public account on TikTok. Of course you're gonna get hate. Everybody gets hate. I get hate. Why do you care? If you don't care about men, why do you react? Why do you respond to messages like that? You shouldn't care. You shouldn't give them attention.
I think one of the biggest issues that I see in today's society when it comes to dating and being in relationships is that people are so scared to be alone. So they just date the wrong people, the people that aren't right for them. They lower their standards because anything is better than being by themselves.
Yeah, she's totally right. I have to agree with her. I see so many men online, in my comments, in real life, ignoring the red flags, being with women that they shouldn't be with, just so they don't, I don't know, die alone, just so they're not alone. It's so crazy.
Question I get asked a lot is, why don't you want to get married? Or why are you so against marriage? There's two questions there. One, I decided a long time ago that I am not going to wait and put my life on hold whilst I find a partner, whilst I wait for someone to come and love me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to focus on the love that I have for myself and continue to build that for the rest of my life. The relationship with myself is the most important relationship I will ever have.
That's why she's still single.
And you will ever have. So I decided to not base my whole identity and my whole purpose as a woman around babies and marriage. There's a reason why males are so upset at women who choose to be child-free and don't want to get married. Maybe they're single, they don't want relationships with men, and it's simply because those males cannot control those women anymore.
Is that it's crazy to have 2 or 3 cats, but it's not crazy to have 2 or 3 children.
And I don't do coffee dates, I don't do walking dates, I don't do...
By the way, guys, on my Patreon, I have over 150 videos that are not on YouTube. So if you want to support the channel, or you want to support me, or you just want to see those videos, the link to my Patreon is in the description of the video.
Last minute dates. I do you. You do me. What are we waiting for?
I think I have officially lost interest in all men. Because it's just the same thing over and over again. I'm tired.
It's always
If it's the same thing over and over and over again, ma'am, who's the common denominator? You are. Pick better men.
good men are hard to find and never. Wait, I'm hard to find too. I'm 1 in a million too. I'm rare.
No, you're not, ma'am. There are very, very few actual special people in this world. Everybody thinks they're special, but they're not. I'm not special.
Rare too. I think sometimes we overuse the narrative that good men are hard to find, and we forget that good women are hard to find too. And so if you're a high value woman, it might take a little longer to find a high value man, but
Ma'am, from the start, just because you think you're special and you make TikTok videos and you appear like this, you won't attract smart men. You won't.
that's because you're rare. He's rare, you're both rare.
All the women I see online complaining about dating are always liberal, and I'm like, well, what do you expect? I'm like, conservative men don't want to date you, Republican men don't want to date you.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, even liberal men prefer a conservative woman. So yeah, and it's like, guys don't want to like walk on eggshells and hear you cry about like feminism and the patriarchy all day. I just feel like this is like the one thing I'm like, you've definitely done this to yourself. Try being less annoying.
I have a question for the single men of TikTok and
Okay.
of the world. Is buying a girl a drink still something that we do? Still something that y'all do at the bar? You see a pretty girl, you want to talk to her, you offer to buy her a drink? Because I never in my life, not once, have had someone come up to me and ask to buy me a drink. So I'm just wondering, is that a thing we still do? Is there something wrong with me? What's going on?
It's not worth it anymore. It's not worth it in 2025 to do that, because you can get called a creep or even worse. So for most men, it's not worth it anymore.
I'm so sad. And I'm really fucking lonely. I'm trying to date and I'm trying to meet people so that I can I don't want to be stuck anymore. I feel very stuck in my situation and I just want to try and meet people and feel better, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yes, there is, man, because I can see by the way that you talk that you're desperate to have a relationship. And when people are desperate, they ignore a lot of things. They ignore a lot of red flags. And what happens? You will end up in a new relationship with somebody that doesn't actually want to be in a relationship with you, or he just wants a situation, or after a few months he ghosts you because you ignore the red flags, because you're desperate. Guys, this is what I tell you. You shouldn't be desperate. You should have an abundance mindset. That way you can think logically and not emotionally, and you can see all the red flags and you can make actually good decisions.
Dating in 2024 is cooked. Loyalty is out the window. Communication, out the window. Honesty, out the window. Commitment, out the window. Trust, absolutely destroyed. Everyone's too busy being in everyone else's DMs, liking everyone's pictures, going on the sneak. What happened to the days when two people actually loyally and honestly tried to get to know each other and build a relationship instead of some situationship that's going to last a few months before they move on to the next? Take me back to the 90s when it was simple, when you knew where you stood with people and when more people were more legit.
4 weeks ago, my boyfriend of 8 months decided to break up with me on the day we were supposed to be boarding our flight to meet my family for the first time. And when I tell you, there were no signs. There were no signs.
There are always signs, but people are ignorant and in love. and they just don't see the signs, or they don't know what to look for.
Oh, but there's always no. And you know what? Yeah. Hindsight is a hell of a drug. The I knew it all along phenomenon. I have the ability to reflect post breakup, but I still would not have been able to see this coming.
Yes, you would, but you're ignorant. You're ignorant, and people don't know how to spot the red flags. That's the problem. But there are always red flags, guys. There are always red flags.
I am 44 years old and I am newly single after 24 years of marriage. I have been dating for the last few months.
Okay.
And let me tell you, it's wild out there, y'all.
Of course.
I'm already racking up some stories. I was thinking I might want to share a few of them here.
When she says she's racking up stories, she's also racking up other things.
Here. Some things I've learned, some things that I've experienced, some things that I have thankfully not experienced because I realized it was a bad situation before I got myself into it. Of course, there's always the guys who tell me they're single and they're actually married. There's the guy with the Schmex machine. Yeah, I have a story that talks about something like that. Dating has been an adventure. It has been fun. It's been crazy. It's been healing. It's been validating.
This is an interesting comment because unfortunately I think it's true. The guy says, yes, as a guy in my 20s, it's easier to date women over 30 because women in their 20s are in demand for marriage. And in my experience, as someone who's 37 and my friend's experience, we've never struggled to get dates with good looking guys in their 20s because those guys are just super keen and there's a ton of them and most of them are good looking. And I guess this is the reason, because men who aren't serious don't want to be dating a woman in her 20s who's going to expect something from him. They'd rather date a woman in their 30s when they know it's not going to go anywhere and there's going to be no expectation on them, because deep down the woman in her late 30s and the man in his 20s both know realistically they're not going to have a relationship and it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, but plenty of women think that just because guys in their 20s like their pictures or want to smash, that those guys also want a relationship, also want marriage. So, of course, they're gonna say, oh, the wall doesn't exist. Look at how many guys I have in my DMs. Look at how many likes I have. Yeah, but those guys want sex. They don't want to marry you.
You know, I've always wondered about this, and I've never really had the words for it. I'm always scared that I'm gonna, hurt somebody's feelings, but people have been hurting my feelings for the last, 4 days on this app, so let's go. I have recently been asking where, the men are, what they do for fun, where they go, because what women do for fun and what men do for fun, and I'm speaking about straight people here, it seems to be opposite things, and I'm kind of curious about that, because shouldn't we, go to the same places and meet each other? Just an idea. And this is one.
No, because men and women are very different. We like different things. But social media, of course, wants to tell you that we are the same, but we're not.
One of the responses to where all the men is they are at home on dating apps chasing 10s. It's the chasing 10s part I have a question about. First of all, 10 is in the eye of the beholder. But I wonder if there's some truth to this, because
why would you keep chasing 10s if those 10s never give you any attention? At some point you get tired of it and you will chase women that actually respond to your messages. So this is just stupid. Of course women will gonna say this because they don't understand men, how they think.
It's the most consistent.
Because they think if they can chase 10s, because women can chase 10s and 10s will sleep with them, men probably are also doing the same, but that's not true. It's not how it works.
Comment I got from men was how they were just over being rejected, perpetually rejected, forever rejected. And it got me thinking who are you trying? And I'm wondering if maybe there's a disconnect between the women that men want and the women that want men. I have no other way to say this. I think women are more realistic. I think we are more realistic in our tastes. I think we are more realistic in who we would match with. And
just because you're saying this, it proves that you're not realistic, because you don't understand anything about dating. Anything. You think men are chasing 10s? No, men are chasing everything. They're swiping right on every profile just to get some matches. And we have the data. We have the data from dating apps telling us the same thing. But of course, she doesn't know this. She doesn't want to research this. She just thinks women are right. Of course.
I'm getting the sense that the men, at least the ones here, are not. Because their favorite thing to say is that we're all looking for men over 6 feet who make like $500,000 a year or whatever. We're not, babe. We're not.
I feel so bad for this generation of men. And the reason why I say that is I know people will come for me because they always have to come for men. But I feel like there's worse women now than there are worse men.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like in the past, there was better quality women and then there was just men that were players. But now men actually want to get married and they want to settle down, but women are cheating. Like they're actually cheating. And what's crazy is like I know women that are cheating and they're super innocent and like their man has no idea.
Because he's stupid. Because he's a big simp. Because he doesn't know how to spot the red flags. At least this woman knows what she's talking about. Not like the previous woman. She knows that men have it harder. And that's the truth.
And it's like, it saddens me. It saddens me so much because now when I talk to men, they're super damaged by these women. And it's like, when has this ever happened in the past? Like women are more dogs and ran through than men nowadays.
Yeah.
I quite literally cannot deal with these hinge boys anymore. And when I say that they are unhinged, I mean that quite like full pun intended. And I mean that in the worst way.
Guys, just look at her eyes. You can see the crazy in her eyes.
Possible. Because I always say like, oh, I'm going to delete the app. I fucking hate this app, whatever. I'm done. I'm done because this one encounter I've had has done me forever. I feel so humbled and so silenced. And it's made me so fucking angry.
This is so stupid. So a guy treats you bad, and from now on, all men that you will ever meet, you treat them badly because of that one encounter. All men are shit just because one man was shit. Of course, this is their mentality, guys.
I was talking to this guy for like 2.5 weeks, but like we matched on Hinge, but then like it moved over to Instagram, so it was that little bit more like serious. Do you get what I mean? So we've been chatting every day on Instagram, and I thought, oh, it's actually going well. Like he's nice, like he's funny, he's tall. He was 6'2". Well, I don't know if that's true. I never met up with him, but whatever. We're having lovely convos. And then he just casually in convo just drops and goes, oh yeah, the girl I fuck was at the pub and she wasn't happy to see me. Huh?
1-900-9099-CRY. So last weekend I decided to re-download the dating apps after not being on them for 5 months. I mean, What the hell was I doing? What the actual hell was I doing? You know when they say to you, oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea and all that jazz. Where is this sea? Is it the Dead Sea? Because honestly, I kid you not, there is nothing out there. There's nothing out there. I've never seen it so dire. I see the same people all the time. Yeah. And what sea am I looking at? Because no one's, you match with people that don't talk, you swipe for people, they unmatch you. Like, I'm so confused, honestly.
Those are the players, ma'am, that have a lot of options, and of course, maybe they have better options than you, so they don't even bother. Why bother to talk? She doesn't understand that those guys talk to women each day. And after a while, you get bored, you get sick of it. So, of course, they're just going to focus on the best women that they can attract. They're not going to talk to everybody because that's just a waste of time. They're efficient, of course.
I don't know why I do it to myself. I'm like, oh yeah, 5 months. Let's see if there's any fresh meat out there. There is no fresh meat.
Dating in midlife. Let's unpack this bad boy together. Hey, I'm Star Monroe, psychotherapist turned your midlife dating bestie. Yes, I'm actively out there dating. Yes, I'm loving dating. I see it as a real vehicle for my personal growth.
She's lying. I've never heard a woman in her 50s say that dating is so lovely, is so good. If dating was so good, you would have found a new boyfriend or a new husband, and you wouldn't be dating anymore because you would find the right person. But no, because you're not finding the right person and you're still dating, that means that dating is not working for you. So you're lying.